So this video that follows is a session that I did with another awesome hypnotist, Elizabeth Sterling Nesbitt, and we traded sessions to share on our YouTube channel to show how we work. And I love starting new clients with something called a mindscape. Mindscaping was developed by one of my teachers, Mike Mandel, and I love it. I started using it in 2020 when I needed a new way to work with people online because my old style of hypnosis wasn't working so well. People were too relaxed, they were falling asleep. I did not like that. So I started using mindscaping to engage the client's imagination and keep them with me. And I quickly found that it is a pretty profound experience and it generates changes at a very deep holistic level that unfold very naturally in the client's life. So I use it as a first session with all new clients for this reason. It resolves so much. Sometimes extraneous things come to the surface in the mindscape and we can resolve them. And those are clearing the blocks for the thing that the client really wanted. So it's a very beautiful process. It's fun, it's imaginative, and it gets the conscious mind out of the way. We don't have to know what any of it means. We're eliciting symbols from the subconscious. It's like a waking dream. And what happens during a mindscape is that I'd be giving prompts and we are just like working with these unconscious, subconscious symbols and collaborating with the subconscious. And what's beautiful about it is that it builds rapport between the client's conscious and subconscious minds that will only benefit and influence their life in the best possible ways. It makes people more intuitive. People will always start remembering their dreams. And one of the coolest things about a mindscape is that I have discovered in my 3 years of doing them with every new client is that there will be a major synchronicity or a major epiphany related to their goal or to the mindscape, the session, within 24 to 48 hours after the session. I can say that that has almost never not happened, but maybe like 98% of the time. Some of them are quite stunning. Some of them are, just a little bit like, oh, affirming, but that will happen. So mindscapes are super magical. The other cool thing about it is that it gives me the client's representational system. So if you're a hypnotist and you're watching this, I start to know if they're more kinesthetic, more visual, more auditory. I'll be able to tell that. And then I can more effectively communicate with their subconscious going forward. And in this session, I crafted my own little induction. It's called the Palmistry induction. And I think it really maps over nicely to the work of a mindscape. So I guide Elizabeth through that. And then her beautiful subconscious mind does the rest. So enjoy. So hi. Um, so Elizabeth, yeah, what did you want to dedicate this session towards? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I do because it's time to raise my prices. And I know it is. And I actually feel more comfortable with that idea than I ever have before. But I think I could use to feel more comfortable and to like trust that it's all going to be okay. Because I have thoughts that come up like, well, what if, I don't get clients anymore? And also, one of the big thoughts is I want people to get this work. And so I kind of have the thought of like, well, but what if they can't afford it? Like, I want to make sure that I'm affordable. But it's time.
Yeah, yes, it is. That's amazing. Okay. To trust that it's all going to be okay and feel more comfortable in that. I love that. So I was thinking we would do a mindscape, which is a kind of just like it gets your conscious mind out of the way and it's almost like a waking dream. I'm
Okay.
working like with your imagination and with symbols that arise from your subconscious as I give prompts.
Okay.
And the best way to kind of go along with this is, and I've done this with every first time client for the last 3 years, ever since COVID. Um, so I haven't really had anybody who hasn't had an awesome experience from it. So it's pretty fun, but we're just engaging your imagination and which is your subconscious mind. So when I give a prompt, it'll be kind of like the first thing that comes to mind and it might not make sense and that's okay. That's just like for your conscious mind to not worry about. And yeah, we'll just be working and collaborating with your subconscious mind to make this make this really easy for you to feel more comfortable and trust that it's all going to be okay when you raise your prices. So I like to distill it down if we can, just like into like either a single word or an affirmation or whatever feels right for you, a few words or a single word that encapsulates all of this, the raising of the prices, feeling more comfortable, the trust that it's all going to be okay. And we can even, dedicate this to the thing that you don't want or the thing that you do want. So whatever word kind of has the most emotional like charge for you.
Yeah, I think the word that has the most emotional charge is trust.
Trust. Okay, I love that. All right. Good. We can just use that word, and that will help call on the map for your subconscious to, kind of show you the terrain to this path of trust.
Okay.
Um yeah, so being giggly. I don't know.
Sandy, I'll it up, girl. This
Yeah, thank you.
bubbles at me. I'm ready.
Um All right, yeah. So I'll invite you to actually begin. This is like a fun induction that I've created for a mindscape for the most part. If you want to play along, to hold your hand up like this, either hand, it doesn't matter, and just kind of just let yourself kind of get lost on the map of lines that is the palm of your hand. And if you'd like, you can even choose one line or intersection on that map to fix your gaze and just focus all of your attention on that spot of that hand. And you might even begin to allow your focus to expand outwards to include a blur of all of the stuff in your peripheral vision. Just let yourself zone out here for a few moments. And in palmistry, there are meanings ascribed to each line of the hand. And that top line that is closest to the base of your fingers, that is known as the heart line. It relates to your emotions and how you relate to others. And then below that, there is the headline, which relates to the more mental aspects of the self, how imaginative or analytical you are. And some people have that line as one, and that is really beautiful. That's like a head and heart fusion. And then there is the lifeline, which swoops down and points towards your wrist, which may or may not be connected to the line above it. And this line relates to your participation in life. And whenever you feel ready to go into hypnosis, you can close your eyes as you contemplate those different lines. Good. And the corresponding areas of your life and how the changes that you make today will travel the far corners of that map and to places as yet uncharted. And you can just allow your subconscious mind to now take the reins of this experience and allow yourself to sink into the perfect depth of trance for you to make your desired changes today. And those lines, with all of their intersections, mergings, forks in the road, dead ends, they really are like a map. And if you were to track the lines of your palm over time, you would find that the areas of your life changing are significant of those lines actually changing as well. As within, so without. And I know that the same is true for your mind. When you make changes at a subconscious level, the way that you experience life changes as well. And your subconscious mind uses maps all the time. And just like those lines on your hand, these maps are symbolic of aspects of your life. And they have personal significance to you and your goals and your desires. And your subconscious mind has a map for trust, for you to trust that it's all going to be okay and allow yourself to feel comfortable raising your prices. It has a map just for that. And this map contains only the necessary information for you to feel that sense of trust. And so in a few moments, you're going to be shown that map and you'll have the opportunity to collaborate with it, collaborating with your subconscious mind and making changes at this very deep level. And so I'll invite you in a moment to take a series of 3 deep breaths where on each exhale, you'll say or think the word trust to yourself as a way to call on this map from your subconscious mind. And you can say that out loud if you'd like, or you can just say it to yourself, whatever feels more empowering to you. And I will breathe right along with you. So you can go ahead and take the first of those 3 breaths now. Very good. Thank you. And by doing that, you have just called on that map of trust. And so I invite you to imagine that there is a map being presented to you now, and maybe it's all folded up or rolled up like a scroll, but just imagine that it's being presented to you now, and it unfolds and unfurls and slides itself right underneath where you are seated right now and travels off into the distant horizon in every direction all around you. And you can just let me know with a nod when it's done that. Good, thank you. And now invite for it to spring up in 3D all around you, perhaps in vivid, bright color, perhaps with objects from nature or those made by humans. Just let it spring up in 3D all around you, and you can let me know with a nod when it's done that. Awesome, thank you. And now it's good to mark the present time and place on this map in some way where you are seated right now on the map. Some people like to put a "you are here" sign or like a gold star or anything that you could possibly imagine. So if you could tell me, what would you like to put to mark the present time and place on this map?
A rock.
A rock, good. Go ahead and put that there. And that way you always know how to get back to the present time and place if you should go exploring. And if you will, tell me what is directly in front of you on this map.
It's like trees and then mountains in the background.
Trees and then mountains in the back? How do you feel about this kind of landscape?
It's pretty.
Huh?
It's pretty.
Pretty?
Yeah.
Anything else about it?
There's like a stream and it's next to me and it goes all the way into the trees and the mountains.
And how do you feel when you're here in this area of the map?
I feel good. I feel peaceful.
Okay. Good. And what's the sky like above the trees and the mountains?
It's blue and clear.
How do you feel about a nice blue, clear sky?
Feels good.
Good.
Feels relaxing.
What was that?
Feels relaxing.
Relaxing. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now imagine that you could turn to face directly behind you on this map and see what is directly behind you back there.
Just like a lot more trees, like maybe a forest.
Okay. What's the overall feeling of this forest?
It's just kind of like nonchalant. I don't know. It's like whatever.
Nonchalant. How do you feel about nonchalant?
Yeah, I mean, like it feels like I could take it or leave it. It doesn't feel as good as the other side.
Okay. All right. Is there anything you would do? So if you could like creatively collaborate now with your subconscious and make this area of the map, this nonchalant, like take it or leave it, would you do anything with your creative imagination to alter it in any way?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think I'd like to make like a clearing, almost like a path through the forest. Open it up a little
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
bit.
You can just let me know with a nod when it's done. It's done. Good. And how does it feel now?
It feels better.
Good. Good. And if there's nothing else that you'd like to change or alter back there, you could go ahead and face the front, what was in front of you again, if you'd like. Are you ready to go back there? Good. The trees and the mountains that, feels good and relaxing, the stream. Um, is it the same as it was before, or has anything shifted or changed?
I feel like there's also a path this way, like the path continues from them behind forward.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
good. Does that feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Now imagine that you could kind of float up above this rock at your present time and place and look off beyond those trees and mountains and the stream and look off into the distant horizon. What is at the edge of this map on the distant horizon beyond the trees and the stream and the mountains?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like it's just the end. Like the mountains are like the end of it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the mountains are at that distant horizon.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about mountains?
Yeah, I mean they're majestic. They're definitely beautiful. Um, they're a little like this sounds so silly. They're a little big, mountains are big. So they're beautiful to look at. Going up them, like a little intimidating.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then is there anything that you could do creatively to collaborate again with your subconscious to make this more pleasing for you? Is there anything, do you even think that you can see if there's anything beyond the mountains? Do you want to go see if there is anything beyond the mountains, or would you like to?
I think yeah, now I could because I could create it. So now beyond the mountains, there's like a really beautiful lake.
A really beautiful lake?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. And anything else about this really beautiful lake?
I think the stream feeds into the lake, or the lake
Okay.
feeds the stream, maybe whichever way.
Yes. Good. Um, what's the first word that comes to mind when you think of this lake, this really beautiful lake?
It's like expansive.
Yes. Expansive. And is there anything else here what's the sky like above this lake?
Mm, it's just like a really nice day. blue.
And if you were to use your imagination to make this beautiful, expansive lake, like a place that you would just be so drawn to coming to, that would just be so you, like a place for you, what would you add? What would you change, alter, take away, anything?
Mm. No, I like it. It looks
Yeah.
good.
It's perfect as it is.
Mhm.
Good. Okay. All right. So back at your present time and place on this map, but still floating up above and looking off to this beautiful distant horizon beyond the mountains, beyond the trees, with this stream that feeds into this beautiful, expansive lake that is just perfect as it is. Um, can you see or sense that there is a path to get from the rock, your present time and place, off to that beautiful, expansive lake? How would you get there if you were traveling this map?
Mhm. There's a path now alongside the stream. And so that's how to get there.
Good. Amazing. And what would that trip be like?
Yeah. It's funny because it was like, well, there's this path along the stream, but there's these mountains before you get to the lake, right? So what is that going to look like? But I'm thinking that there's probably, if I just follow the stream, just figure out how the stream gets fed by the lake, and that would be the way to go.
Hey, yeah. Does that feel good to you?
Yeah, yeah. It's a little mysterious, but it feels like it's going to be the most enjoyable route.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Love that. Mysterious, but the most enjoyable. I
Yeah.
love that. And if you were to invite in, any kind of guide or presence or energy, if there is anything or anyone that you could imagine like kind of calling on, that you would want to accompany you on that journey, on that trip, who or what would it be? Anything?
Yes. Um, it's a fox.
Oh, a fox.
Yeah.
How do you feel about foxes?
I feel it's so funny. I listened to Lori a couple weeks ago, and there was some long hypnosis, and something came out of the fire. I don't remember, but it was a fox, and I remember being like, "What? I don't even know." So it's like mysterious again, but it feels right.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Good, good. Yeah. So invite that energy of that fox, the presence of the fox, invite it here with you now. And just know that this fox is here for a reason. There's some symbol that you can draw from its presence as it's coming into your life now. This is powerful. You have this animal presence by your side or behind you or in front of you, wherever feels right. And just like imagine them there traversing that pathway, alongside the stream with you in the most mysterious but enjoyable way. And trusting that's all going to be okay as you have this presence there to guide you. And if there was, if you're like, imagine that you're now again floating up above the map. And I just invite you at this point in time to, add anything along that route, that pathway to make it more fun or enjoyable for you? Is there anything that you would want to kind of like just throw in there to help you on your journey, you can just go ahead and add any of those things. And if you want, you can tell me about them, but you don't have to. Just go ahead and do that. It's all good.
Mhm.
Good. And now I invite you to also just scatter some little like gifts or fairy dust. Imagine that you're sending yourself some little surprises, little resources, things that you don't really know what they are now, but you will when you encounter them. You will encounter this affirming sense of synchronicity as you journey that enjoyable but mysterious path as you follow the stream with your fox, trusting it's all going to be okay and feeling comfortable on the journey. So just send yourself those little mysterious gifts and surprises now all along the path and at that beautiful distant horizon, that expansive, beautiful lake. You can just let me know with a nod when it feels complete. Good. Now, if there are any other last minute changes that you would like to make or things you'd like to add, is there anything else you'd like to change or alter on this map? No, good, 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 good. So I invite you to come back to the rock at your present time and place and descend back down to that surface level of the map where you can feel grounded, you can feel comfortable knowing that all of this creative exploration you just did actually is already in place. You've just created very deep, beautiful, holistic changes within your subconscious mind that are going to start to unfold in your life and your experience and your feelings over these next few days and sometimes even a few weeks. What's beautiful about what we just did is it is so holistic and so like gentle. So sometimes the changes are a little bit profound, but sometimes they're very subtle and unfold naturally, and they'll all just fit perfectly into your life and your journey as you move towards this trust, this feeling of trust, feeling comfortable, raising your prices, knowing that you are aided by the energy of this fox. You have your fox with you, and you can follow the stream and know that the path is maybe a little bit mysterious, but it is the most enjoyable way to go. And you can end with this feeling of expansiveness, expansion as the path continues and you're already on it. And it feels good and relaxing and peaceful as you're in this state of trust, knowing that all of these changes, they've already been created, they're already mapped out for you. And I always like to let people know that after a session like this, this is your place. Any area of this map that you feel called to, you can come back, you can check on it, you can change things, you can turn it into self-hypnosis to, just go back into that distant horizon, that expansive lake, and draw from it what you need to know that you're on that good and peaceful, enjoyable path with a sense of trust. You've already mapped it all out. It's all going to be okay. And you can come back here and maybe you'll revisit in your dreams and these themes will come back in the next few days or even longer than that. And what's really cool is that I want to say like 99% of the time that I do one of these sessions with people, they will experience a major synchronicity or a major epiphany related to this map and their goal within 24 to 48 hours from this session. So you can just put your antenna up and be ready for that, because it'll most likely arrive as you journey this beautiful, peaceful, enjoyable path towards expansiveness as you raise your prices with a sense of trust. And whenever you're ready, you can just take in a nice deep breath and blink your eyes open, taking all the time that you need to come back to the here and now. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.